So guys, I got some big news for you. I have played Final Fantasy VII. This would have to be probably the greatest day of my life, of my gaming life, to be able to play Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, right. Look, we've all seen a certain somebody say it was the greatest day of his gaming life. I called him out before. I think it was for Shenmue 3 demo. He said it was the greatest day of his life. I called him out for that. For me, the greatest day of my life was getting married. Also, another greatest day of my life was the birth of my daughter. So for somebody to say the greatest day of his life is playing some demo of a video game, or of his gaming life playing an illegal copy of Final Fantasy VII Remake, is just, to me, it's just unbelievable. But let's just get into this. This is all to do with games being delayed, and it's all kicked off, I think it was beginning of this week, with Square Enix announcing that they were pushing the release date for Final Fantasy VII Remake from March 7 to April 10 to give the game more time to work on, the final polish of the game. And I'm thinking, that's okay. I can wait another March, April, May, another 2 months or whatever it is for the game to be released. And then it dawned on me that April 10 here in Australia is Easter Good Friday, which means that nothing is open here in Australia. All the gaming shop, everything is closed. There may be McDonald's and Nando's and all those sort of places are open, but as far as retail, nothing is open. We're closed. It's Good Friday. It's one of those days in the calendar where we don't open at all. And that's the release date here in Australia for Final Fantasy VII Remake. So unless you're going to get it digitally, you're not going to be able to get it physically in your hands on that date, that's the Friday. So yeah, I don't know what it's like in the rest of the world, I guess you can say the Christian world. I guess, in Japan, Easter's not a big thing, so to them it's just another day probably. But UK, America, North America, Europe, I'm interested to know, is it a public holiday that day? Is everything shut? Because here it is, and we'll have to wait until the Saturday to get it. There's no way you can walk into an EB game store on the Thursday night and get it. There's an embargo. They can't release it on that date. It has to be on the Friday. So I just think it's hilarious to see that. Great timing, Square Enix. I just love that so much. And as I'm filming this tonight, it was tweeted from CD Project Red that Cyberpunk has been delayed. I don't have a problem with games being delayed. When you look at something like Assassin's Creed Unity, this game should have been delayed by 6 months, but because Ubisoft wanted to have it as a holiday season release, they released what was, without a doubt, one of the most broken games I have ever come across. And I think the patch for it was like 30 gig, and it's like, oh my god, that took so many hours, especially here in Australia. Our broadband, NBN, whatever it is just absolute crap. And luckily for me, it was on I had the Xbox One version, because you can turn it off, turn it back on. It will, for me, it will resume downloading. But for some reason on the PS4, if you turn that thing off halfway through a download, it will just go back to the beginning when you turn it on again. It won't save the progress of the download, which is really crazy. I don't know why it does that. If you know a reason why it does it, tell me. But yeah, there was like a 30 gig update for this thing. It was absolutely ridiculous. And the same could be said for No Man's Sky, a game that promised so much. And how many updates was there for this? I know it fixed a lot of stuff, but to me, I would rather wait for a game to be released later than releasing something broken. And that's why I got to give kudos to Nintendo for scrapping the whole Metroid 4 game. I think is it Factory 5 that's working on that game now? I think, I'm not too sure, but they were started developing the game. I think they were well over a year into the development of it, and they thought, no, we can't do it. we'll give it to one of their trusted developers. So I'm all for it. But for Cyberpunk, this is, it's big news. I mean, it was supposed to be released in April, so now they're putting it back till September 17, 2020. They're at the stage where the game is complete and playable, but there's still work to be done. As I said, the Night City is massive. This full of stories, content, and places to visit. So I'm guessing it's going to be like a GTA game. You can just go anywhere, anytime, do anything, interact with all these other side missions and stuff like that, which sounds really great, much like, I guess, The Witcher 3. So I'm willing to wait for that. If they're gonna, they're still finishing playtesting and fixing and polishing, but the release date, September 17, 2020, is that going to be around the time when we get the new consoles? PlayStation 5, what release date is that? Is it going to be around that time? Surely we're going to see Cyberpunk now on the next gen systems, on the current gen systems, but I'm sure we're going to see it on the next gen systems. And a great way to entice people to get it on the next gen, or to entice people to buy the next gen, is by putting a lot more content in it, stuff that's exclusive for the next gen systems. And it may work. I'm looking forward to this game. I love what they did with the Witcher series, so yeah, I'm hyped for it. I wish I would have got the collector's edition with the amazing statue, but I missed out on that. Boohoo for me. But yeah, that's really cool that they actually put out a notice saying, hey guys, we need more time. Sure, people are going to be disappointed, but I'd rather wait another 6 months for something that's going to be a very polished game, opposed to something that is just a broken game at release. And I think they wanted to do like a class action against Ubisoft because they didn't deliver what they promised, I think, with the multiplayer stuff as well. So I'm all for that happening. Now, another thing, I was sure that at E3 this year Sony would have attended, but they're not going to attend E3 2020. I don't think we're going to ever see them at E3s ever again. I think they go their own agenda, their own way they want to present their product. Doesn't mean that sometime in the future it could be the end of E3. I don't know, but it's not a good thing. You got Nintendo doing these pre-recorded shows, which is, they're on the floor, I guess, showing the latest games. But you really have Microsoft there. It could be a good thing for Microsoft if they got the competition's not there. But we'll see what happens with that. But I don't know. It could be the end of E3. Maybe some people are saying that, but yeah, I was a bit surprised. I thought with the release of PlayStation 5, they would have wanted to be there to really attack Microsoft, but yeah, they didn't. So to me, it's a wasted opportunity. Yeah, it's really weird. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about, Woodhawker has done a video saying he's going to do another charity stream. I think it's in May. And this time it's going to be done right, which is good. I'm all for charities and the charity work, but it was a very, very suspect last year. But he apparently has shown all 4 receipts, because there was one in particular, I think it was the biggest one. So why was it going to be so hard to get a receipt from the biggest charity? That doesn't make sense to me. But apparently he has shown all 4 receipts for last year. And this year it's going to go directly to the charities, which is great. I don't mind that. But I was watching a fellow YouTuber, and he's a subscriber to my channel. I didn't know, Lawrence, I didn't know you had a channel. This is the thing. You guys have got to tell me. Anybody that subscribed to me, let me know if you got a channel so I can check you out. He did a great video on, I guess it was depression. Yeah, it was depression. And he stated something at the beginning of the video that just, light went off my head. He suffers from depression, and he showed the scripts, the prescription, the pills that he takes for his depression. And he did bring up a good point, calling out Wood why don't you show that on your videos? If you suffer from depression, anxiety, then hey, just show the proof, like what Lawrence did. And that was a great video, Lawrence. I really, yeah, unbelievable. It was, thanks for sharing such a personal story. But he did bring up a good point there. Now, Beat 'em Ups has got a second channel. It's called Woodhawker. My wife said, oh, he probably started that channel to deal with Copa. And I thought, maybe that's right. And I started thinking maybe it was to get out of the Screenwave Media. But I see a tweet, and that part, the Woodhawker channel, is a part of Screenwave Media, along with his fiance, green card wife, I don't know what she is, Kim. That's a part of the see, I'm confused now. It's been a long day. Screenwave Media. So all three of those channels are in with that group. He's going to get monetized very shortly for the new channel. I gotta say, that background on his new channel looks great. I wish he would design and build me a set for me. I did like that one part I did like was the set. But another thing that happened this week, the big news, of course, for those of us that followed Radical Rick, yeah, that's it for now, I guess. I don't know if he's going to come back to YouTube. I'm not going to get too much into all of it. It's just been crazy the last couple of days with all of that sort of stuff. I am missing his channel. Believe it or not, every day I would drive to work, I would listen to Radical Rick. Now, did I agree with everything he said? No. A lot of it I didn't. A lot of it I did. Some of it I did question. Some of it I did find it very entertaining at times, very funny. I loved his voice characters of certain YouTubers. That was hilarious to hear. I'm kind of feeling like I'm in withdrawal, because I go to work and I don't have anything other than some CDs to listen to, or Brisbane radio, which is at 4:30 in the morning. There's nothing on, and even during the daytime it's all talkback. Even FM radio here in Brisbane, back in the day it was all music. Now it's all talkback, like the AM stations. And he was like kind of like the disc jockey I would listen to on the way to work, and I do miss it. It's just like I got withdrawal symptoms, or going cold turkey, because I miss not having that channel. Like I said, I didn't agree with everything, but he did open my eyes to a lot of things that was going on. But yeah, I do miss it. But I'm just thinking, oh my god, I got nobody to listen to on the way to work. Just got to go back to listening to music, I guess. But yeah, it's a huge void if you're driving to work every day, so listening to the same person, and all of a sudden that's it, it's gone. Will he return? I don't know. If he could reformat, or I don't know. It's just, to me it's sad. Like I said, I didn't agree with everything, but a lot of it I did, and it is sad. So that's it for this week's blah blah blah, I guess. That's all I really wanted to talk about, especially with Lawrence's. I'm going to leave a link down below to his video. It's very raw, very real, and that's what's important about that. It's very true. So I'll leave a link down below to that. And I think if you noticed in my last video, at the end of it, the finish screen or the end screen, I had the list of the new subscribers that have joined, I guess from the previous week. I got this idea because I've seen people have Patreons and stuff like that, have a list up of their Patreons. And I thought, well, why don't I just every week as I get new subscribers, or every 2 weeks, just at the end screen, just acknowledge them. So I'm going to start doing that now. Just my way to acknowledge the new subscribers to this crazy little channel of mine. So that is it, guys. Let's get on with this game room tour. I got like a week and a bit to finish it, and I haven't done anything because it's been so busy at work. I've got to get into it next week. So if there's no video next week, it's because I'm filming this games room tour, which is a mess at the moment. It's just, I had it all cleaned up, and now for some reason It's a mess. But hey guys, thanks very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye.